Money owned currently is more valuable than the same amount of money in the future. Think about having $100 right now versus having it after 1 year. If you have $100 right now in your savings account, with a 4% annual interest rate, you will have $104 after 1 year. However, if you earn the $100 1 year from now, you lose the chance to earn this year's interest. Additionally, due to inflation, the purchasing power of $100 a year from now will be less than its purchasing power today. Present value, PV, also called present discounted value, is the current value of future money adjusted for inflation, interest, or other metrics. One use of present value calculation is to compare the purchasing power of money that will be received in the future with its purchasing power today. With a 10% annual inflation rate, the $110 you will earn after 1 year will have the same purchasing power of $100 today, which can be calculated by dividing $110 by 1.1. In this example, the present value is $100, and $110 is your future value. Future value, FV, is the value of current money at a future date as adjusted for inflation, interest, or any other metric. One example of future value calculation would be to find out how much interest the bank will give you after a period of having deposited your money into a savings account. If you have $100 right now in your savings account, with a 5% annual interest rate, you will receive $105 after 1 year, which can be calculated by multiplying $100 by 1.05. In this scenario, the future value of your $100 in a year is $105, and $100 is your present value. In PV and FV calculations, the present value represents the amount of money today, while the future value represents the same amount of money in the future adjusted for inflation, interest, or any other metric. For present value, we are thinking backward in time from the future value, and vice versa for the future value calculation. Here is the formula of present value and future value. In the formula, N represents the number of time periods, while R represents the rate of return. Let's apply this formula. If you deposit $100 to a savings account that yields 5% interest annually, the following is the calculation for how much money you will have in the bank after 2 years. In this example, as the money will be compounded annually for 2 years, the N value is 2, and as the interest rate is 5%, the R value is 0.05. The $100 becomes $105 at the end of the first year, the first time period, and that $105 becomes $110.25 in the second time period. If we change the question and say that you deposit $100 to your savings account that yields 5% interest every 2 years, the following calculates how much money you will have in the bank after 2 years. As the N value represents the number of time periods, the N value is now 1, as the bank is giving 5% interest only at the end of the second year. With that being said, let's take a look at the ultimate tips for exam success. Know the formula of present value and future value. When making a PV-FV calculation, pay attention to the time period and be careful to notice if the interest is applied monthly or yearly. If the interest is applied monthly, the time period, the N value for 1 year, would be 12. The annual interest rate value would need to be divided by 12, as the interest rate and the time period should be based on the same period of time.